We now move over to Europe for our next story, where Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico has remarked that Ukraine's accession to the European Union would be a lengthy process. This statement has come after Fico's meeting with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Uzhhorod. He further said that Ukraine do meet all necessary criteria for leadership, but he also advised the Ukrainian president that larger EU member states may pose substantial obstacles to Ukraine's accession to the body, as Ukraine's membership will force changes in agricultural policies and financial distribution within the Union. The Slovak Prime Minister reiterated his position on Ukrainian security guarantees, where he said that Slovakia, being a small country, cannot play a decisive role, but it supports any measures taken for peace. We're now joined by Major General Gigi Davidi. He's a global strategic expert and he joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Major General Davidi, for joining us here and speaking to us. Obviously, the Ukraine's road to the European Union, while it's still in conflict, seems very long. What more can you tell us about this situation? I believe we are having some technical issues. I apologize. Major General, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. What more can you tell us about this situation? Of course, the Ukraine would love to be in the European Union. It has been very vocal about that. Why would this be such a huge move for Kiev and its people?
Well, first and foremost, I think Ukraine is very keen to join the European Union because of number of reasons. First and foremost, it gives a certain degree of security to Ukraine because right now it is facing aggression from Russia, and once they are part of the European Union, then willy-nilly they get a security, and which is very, very critical for Ukraine. The second point is also integration into the European Union economically, because that means that they become part of a system, and that also gives them the economic security, and more than that, they get integrated into a European system. But at the same time, as a Slovakian Prime Minister has stated, that there is a procedure to join the European Union, because today it has 27 members and they have to meet a certain criteria. And then there is a procedure, there are almost 35 policy areas which needs to be met by the applicant country. And there is a European Commission which sits on it, and they decide each policy case one at a time. And of course, there is certain amount of skepticism among the European Union states, because after all, Ukraine is not a small country. It's a country which is almost 700,000 square kilometers, and there's a population of about 40 million plus. And it has also its own economy. And more than that, it is a major agriculture country because it's almost like the wheat bowl of the world. And so it will also means once Ukraine joins the European Union, there will be certain amount of disruption in the system that is currently there, and especially in terms of the economy, because there are very many small countries which will actually face certain amount of turbulence once a big country like European Union, in the European Union, Ukraine joins it. So these are some of the concerns of the European members. So all I can say is, first and foremost, it's very important and critical for Ukraine to join European Union because it gives them a degree of security, but at the same time, the procedures are long and lengthy, so they'll have to go through very patiently. And thirdly, the current members of European Union, they will also will be slightly concerned and skeptical when a big country joins the organization, because that will mean certain degree of disruption and certain degree of accommodation. Thomas.
Yes, thank you very much, Major General Gigi Davidi, for joining us here on the programme and for taking the time. We stay in Europe for our next story, where forest firefighters in Leon in northern Spain are protesting to demand better working conditions and enhanced training. Their call comes after devastating wildfires in August that destroyed over 300,000 hectares of land and tragically cost lives. The firefighters say improved support is crucial to prevent future disasters and to protect both their safety and their families and the environment. Let's take a listen in to what some of them had to say.
Lo que venimos a reivindicar es nuestras pésimas condiciones laborales, porque seguimos con unas condiciones laborales tercermundistas. Nosotros lo que reivindicamos es, pues primero, que nos reconozcan la categoría de bomberos forestales, que la sociedad ya lo hace, ya nos conoce como bomberos forestales, pero parece ser que la Junta no lo asume, no quiere darnos esa categoría. Por otro lado, lo que estamos buscando es que esté todo el operativo 100% del año, que estemos todos trabajando todo el año para evitar estos desastres que han ocurrido. Pero claro, aquí lo triste es que se han perdido vidas, se han perdido el patrimonio de gente, bienes, se han perdido explotaciones, se han perdido ganaderías, se ha perdido patrimonio natural. Es un desastre en todos los aspectos.
Son políticas de hace 40 años
Para meterte después en un incendio de 20.000 hectáreas como los que ha habido y enfrentarse a las llamas, creo que es bastante insuficiente. Formación tenemos cero, pero vamos, cero. Entonces,
Well, that is all that we have time for, but we will